Hey everybody, guys. How is it going? I hope everyone is doing all right whenever you tune in and see this. So I want to first of all say happy birthday to all the sun sign Aquariuses out there. But yeah, this is going to be a general reading. We're going to talk about some astrology notes first. Then we'll be getting into the Aquarius reading. And then after that, we'll be doing some shuffling and of course doing the Pisces reading as well. So I will be posting timestamps after the live is over for some people who just want one or the other, or whatever it is. So I'll be posting that after the live is done in the description box below, and then also in the comments for some people who are interested in that. But yeah, so this is a general reading, so it can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, etc. for both Aquarius and for Pisces. Everyone is welcome. We all have Aquarius and Pisces somewhere in our own unique birth charts, right? So what else? Yes, I always take a photo of all the zodiac readings that I do here on my channel. So in case you want to see the photo after the live is done, to see all the cards in one area in one photo, more up close in detail, all you have to do after the live is done is click in the description box below, and you just follow the little instructions on how to get to my Facebook page where I post the photo if you're interested in that, but no big deal. And yeah, I wanted to say too, before we get started with the astrology notes, that I appreciate everyone's energy and for everyone being here, for your shares, for your likes, and your subscriptions. They're all great free ways to support the channel here. So if you haven't already and you'd like to subscribe, it is free. All you have to have is a YouTube account that goes through your email. So you just be notified when I put out new videos, and you can always unsubscribe at any time, of course. So if you feel guided to do that, all you have to do is click on the subscribe button over there somewhere, I believe. It's always the opposite of how I see it, but yeah, you'll see the subscribe button somewhere. And if you want to like this video and you feel guided to like it, it's another free way to support the channel. The more likes that the video gets in the first hours or even the first day or two, the YouTube's algorithm shares it with more people. So it's another great free way if you feel guided, but of course you don't have to. And then the last great free way to support the channel as well is to share this video directly by sending it to friends or family. All right, so with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the astrology notes here. So we are going to be talking about February, right? So I put in the title February 1st through the 29th, but that's definitely all of February, right? Since it's a shorter month. But yeah, let's see what we have here for everybody. Okay, so we have on February 1st, Neptune is semi-square to the true north or north node, which is still in Taurus. Okay, so Neptune is one of the rulers of Pisces, of course. Neptune is the god of the sea, of dreams, of the underworld, of illusions, confusion, imagination, creativity, magical, enchanting, water, all that good stuff, right? That's Neptune. So when Neptune is going to be semi-square to North Node in Taurus, it can bring a little bit of these ideas of Neptunian themes with, let's say, Taurus themes, right? So having more stability, more grounding, a little bit more stubbornness for some, right? But also, what does the North Node represent in itself? So the North Node talks about what we were put on this earth to do. So your South Node is your karmic, your past lives, lessons you've learned, and your North Node is what you're supposed to do in this human body at this time while you're on Earth. Okay, so even though, let's say, your North Node in your individual birth chart is not in Taurus, there's always something that we can learn, right, through the other, of course, astrology placements and transitions, right? So it's really individual, but I just wanted to touch on it briefly there. Okay, so yes, let's keep going forward though. So then we have on February 3rd, Saturn is quintiling the North Node in Taurus. So it looks like, if we just looked at the first 3 days of February, we also have it one more time. These big changes around the North Node in Taurus, okay? So when we're talking about Saturn in particular, right, Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. We think of responsibilities, getting serious about something, right, that kind of thing, around with the North Node in Taurus. So when we think of Taurus too, and we're talking about, of course, the zodiac frequencies, okay, not necessarily just somebody who's a sun sign Taurus. We're talking about the node in Taurus. We're talking about, possibly Hierophant energy, teacher energy, right? So teacher or mentor, a spirit guide, a physical guide, right? All the different types of guides there can be. It can also talk about schools and institutions, higher forms of learning, that kind of thing. But it really kind of, when these placements are going on, because eventually the North Node is going to move out of Taurus, right? It's been in Taurus for a little over a year now, I think. I don't know exactly off the top of my head. So when these things start to come stronger, like this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, it's, slowly going to transition out of Taurus and into the next sign. So that can be another reason why we're seeing that focus going on here in February as well. All right, so let's see what else. Where was I? Yes, I was on February 3rd, Saturn quintiles North Node in Taurus. All right, and then on the same day, we have asteroid Ceres is going to be starting its retrograde, okay? So Ceres is much like the Greek goddess Demeter. So we can talk about agriculture, foods, nutrition, mother energy, gardening, food. Yeah, I already said that. Okay, so this is going to be this series retrograde that starts on February 3rd. It's going to go until May 6th, okay, of 2023. So when we talk about food, architecture, gardening, mothering, energy, nutrition, when it's going in the retrograde motion in the backwards view of it, it can be that these things are not as clear as they normally are, or it's making us or making multiple people, generation, environment, go over these themes of what is good architecture, oh my God, agriculture, not architecture, agriculture. What is good agriculture? What is good nutrition? What is good food, right? These kind of themes. What is it? A happy garden, what is a not happy garden, right? So all these things can be coming up for some, and whatever that means for you during this retrograde period. Hopefully with all the stuff that's been going on with COVID, right, as far as like food shortages and that kind of thing, hopefully during this series retrograde, it's not affecting, the food supply for some, right, since it is again going in retrograde. So it's not necessarily as plentiful as it would normally be, or because there's not all the types of food that we normally have, that may be affecting the nutrition for some in a bad way. Or there's lots of different ways that you can look at it, right? But I never like to talk about stuff in a fearful way, but just more in a knowledgeable way, right? So if I can't get this thing, how can I find similar nutrients from another type of food, etc. Okay, but yeah, that's pretty much for that. Let's keep going though, because we have a few more astrology notes here. And so then on February 5th, we have the full moon in Leo. So of course, when we're talking about the planets and asteroids, we always talk about what the moon is doing, right? So the full moon, anytime we have a full moon, this is culmination energy. So it can be for some that emotions are more heightened or more intense during a full moon time period. And a lot of people like to do certain affirmations or magic or prayers or wishes on a full moon. But it really depends on what you're trying to do. Some people like to do it more on the new moon, which is actually today when I'm filming this. And what is today? Today is the 21st. That's right, of January. So some people like to do it on the new moon when it is like a C and it's slowly growing. And then some people like to do it in a full moon, right? But I always say do it when you feel guided, right? Because intention is the most important. So let's see what else do we have here. And then on February 7th, Jupiter, um, the planet that talks about travel, wealth, religion, education, just to name a few, is going to be semi-sextiling North Node in Taurus. Okay, so again, that's that third North Node in Taurus astro note that we were talking about here. So when this is going on, right, remember how I said the North Node in Taurus can talk about hierophant energy, right? So higher forms of education, schools, learning, a teacher, a student, a mentor, a guide, right? When you put that with Jupiter, Jupiter is about education as well. It's about religion. It's about travel. So it's like very supportive energy, I feel, for most here on that February 7th. And then we have following it on the same day, we also have Vesta, another asteroid, okay, is going to be entering into Aries. So Vesta is about aspirations, our plans, and our goals, and it's going to be entering into fire sign Aries, right? So if we have aspirations around higher vibrational forms of Aries energy, right, that would be entrepreneurship, right? So if you have aspirations, plans, and goals around that, Aries being the first sign of the zodiac has that fresh start, go-getter energy. Okay, so again, this around February 7th is looking really nice and positive and complimentary. All right. Let's keep going though. Then we have on February 11th, Mercury is going to be entering into Aquarius, right? So remember I said in the beginning, happy birthday to all the sun sign Aquarius out there. It's officially Aquarius season as of yesterday, right? So when Mercury is the planet of communications and electronics, just to name a few, right, is going to be entering into Aquarius. Aquarius is that rebellious energy. It talks about technology. It talks about originality, right? Being set off from the crowd, right? So a couple things here that can have more Aquarius energy as far as the way that we communicate and talk and respond to others in the outside world here with that Aquarius energy. And if you think of the famous song, right, like the age of Aquarius, okay? So a lot of people think of that as the kind of hippie song or energy of having some type of revolution in the way that we think and respond to others. So even though we're not necessarily talking about the age of Aquarius, even though some people say we're technically already in that, right? I think as of last year, maybe even the year before, I can't remember now. But anyway, with Mercury finally being out of its retrograde shadow by this February 11th, and then it going into Aquarius, this is going to be really nice for everybody, right? Because before, Mercury was in Gemini and it was in retrograde. So now it's going to be in this forward motion, going forth in another air sign in that Aquarius energy. Okay, so I see that really as complementary. And then we have on February 13th, the last quarter moon. And then on February 16th, we have Athena Pallas, another asteroid, is going to be going direct, okay? So Athena Pallas, or some people just call it Pallas, but its full name is Athena Pallas, is much like when we talk about the Greek goddess Athena, right? So wisdom, okay? Talents in the arts, defense, justice, our intuition, our immune systems, right? When it now is going in that direct motion, this Athena Pallas, it can be that people's immune systems are stronger, right? When we talk about defenses, we're talking about our physical defense of our body. So that's always good news, right? It can be that there is more justice or intuition or wisdom around justice, legal systems, and support of talent in the arts, okay, starting around February 16th. So that is always nice to hear, right? Especially with you know, all the fun stuff that was going on the last little bit of 2022. Okay. And let's keep going. And then we have officially on February 18th, we have the beginning of Pisces season. So the sun enters into Pisces. Then we have a nice little new moon in Pisces on February 20th. And then on the same day, we also have Venus is going to be entering into Aries. Okay. So Venus covers things like love, beauty, higher forms of assets, money, wealth is going to be entering into fire sign Aries. Okay. So again, higher vibrational forms of Aries will talk about entrepreneurship, creativity, passion, all of those kind of things. Okay. So it looks like if you can tap into those arenas around that time period, or at least be aware of how it's going to affect yourself and others. It's always good to check that out. All right, we only have 3 more little quick astrology notes. And then on February 23rd, we have Saturn is going to be semi-square to Chiron. Okay, so again, Saturn being the ruler of Capricorn deals with responsibilities and limitations and getting serious about something. So when it's semi-square to Chiron, Chiron is the Greek god of healing, okay? Healing of physical wounds, but also spiritual wounds or emotional wounds, that kind of thing. So when these two come together, they're kind of, I would say complementary too, as long as you or the person you're dealing with, most people, general environment situation, hasn't been avoiding healing, then I wouldn't see this as anything to really worry about. But it is saying that somebody or something, if they want to get serious about healing in whatever forms, right? Physical, emotional, spiritual, one or the other, or all of them, that this would be a good time to tap into that energy. All right. And then moving forward on February 26th, we have Jupiter, right? The planet of expansion. Everything it touches, it grows and expands. Jupiter, that deals with travel, wealth, religion, education, is quintiling Pluto, okay? So Pluto deals with truth and transformation, okay? So how can our travel, wealth, religion, and education be guided by truth, or how can it be transformed in some way around the end of February, beginning of March, right? So that's definitely something to think about or be aware of. And then we have the last thing here is on February 27th, we have a first quarter moon. So yeah, that is a pretty full month of astrology notes, but I've seen longer, so it's not too bad, right? And it doesn't feel super heavy, right? It's not like 5 planets are retrograde, that kind of thing. So looks pretty good from my point of view anyway for right now. All right. So with that being said, we're about at 18 minutes or so. So let's go ahead and switch over to Aquarius. So Aquarius, I have pulled all of your cards here ahead of time for you. And I already have taken your picture as well, which I'll upload later. But yeah, before we get into your reading, let's kind of do a quick sound bell to tap into your energy, to release all the stuff we downloaded about the astrology notes if we did, and just kind of, you know, tune into spirit and see what messages they have for you and how to be a good channeler for that, or a good channeler and a good translator. Yes. Okay. All right. Again, happy birthday to all the sun sign Aquarius is out there. So let's do a quick little sound bell here. All right. Aquarius. Gonna see if we ran out of room here. Just squeeze it over here. Okay. Oops, sorry. All right, Aquarius. Let's go ahead and call out your cards here. And I will be holding each one up to the screen. And I'm a little closer than I have been with the camera, so hopefully you'll be able to see it okay. All right, so dear Aquarius, we have the 10 of Sacred Circles in the reverse position. We have Ace of Cups in the right side up position. We have Princess Staves in the right side up position. We have the World in the reverse position. So we're going to talk about your first 4 main cards on the top here, and then we'll get into the other tarot deck, what's on the top and the bottom of each deck. We also have 2 little oracle cards at the very end. But yeah, let's see what we have here for you. And I also want to pull up the time frames that I wrote somewhere. Yes, here we go. So of course we're talking about the full month of February. I don't know why I just wanted to say October, but maybe October's speaking to somebody here. But yes, February, we're in February. Oh my God. But yes, so for each card at the top is going to correspond to, or it can correspond to, a week's time frame or so. So the first card can be from, we're going to say February 1st through the 9th is the first week. The second card, second week, can be from February 10th through the 17th. I can't read my handwriting. And the third card, third week, can be from February 18th through the 21st. And the last card, the fourth card, fourth week, can be from February 16th through the 27th. Okay, so these are just guidelines. And when we're on each card, I'll bring up those dates again. And sorry, the incense was making my nose a little itchy there. 1 second. And hopefully this music isn't too loud for you guys. I usually have it on this side. I don't know if it really makes a difference, but hopefully it's not too loud. And I'll try to project and everything here. But yeah, let's see as far as the other zodiac frequencies that are showing up here in your reading. I want to call those out first. I also want to see what your majority of your minor arcana is to get another underlying theme. So let's see here. We really only have 2 major arcanas, not necessarily good or bad, just something to note. So we do have the World card, right? So that's 4 different zodiac frequencies. So we have Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, and Leo. And then we also have the Star card down here. That's your official card here, Aquarius. So we'll get into that a little later. But yeah, when we talk about the zodiac frequencies, it can be for some you're dealing with another Aquarius, or you're dealing with a Scorpio, Aquarius, Leo, or Taurus, or it could be referencing Leo season, Taurus season, Aquarius season. It could even be referencing something in your own birth chart, an area you need to look at, or it means nothing at all, but we just like to mention it ahead of time. All right, so what else? Yes, so now we want to see what the majority of your minor arcana is. So we've got 1 of each already. We've got Pentacles or Sacred Circles is the same. We've got Cups, Staves, or Wands, and we have Swords. Then over here, we have 2 more Cups. So 3 Cups total. And then we have 1 more Pentacle over here. So the Cups is still the majority of the minor arcana. So what does that mean, right? So sometimes we drink water out of cups. So cups in tarot talk about our emotions. We're 90% water, right? So there can be some type of emotional underlining theme going on beneath this reading. I know that's kind of really general, but it can be just something to be aware of, right? Some people are going to come to this reading for just themselves, or they're looking at one person they're dealing with, multiple people they're dealing with, or the general environment situation. So you kind of always have to go through it and see how it makes sense to you. And if it doesn't, then always check out your other placements, right? So what is your rising sign or ascendant sign? What's your moon sign? All that good stuff. Okay. All right, so now let's get into the actual reading here. We're going to go ahead and start with the Ten of Sacred Circles or Ten of Pentacles in that reverse position. And we said this could be the first week or so of February, so February 1st through the 9th. But it looks like a little bit of an energetic blockage, gentle reminder, or challenge here with it being in that reverse position. Now, it could be here, Aquarius, that someone is feeling, either you yourself, someone you're dealing with, multiple people, general environment situation, is not feeling supportive, right? So if this card was right side up, excuse me, you would see all these Native American huts together as a village, if you can see that, right? So when it's in that reverse position, it's like, where is my village? I'm not feeling supported in some way. Now, when we're also talking about sacred circles or pentacles, it can be financially. Someone is feeling not financially supported at this time, or if it's not, let's say, money or finances, it can also be value. Somebody's not feeling valued at this time. Okay. Now let's kind of go and look what's underneath this card, because this is where Spirit wanted me to talk to you about what's on the top and the bottom of the other deck here underneath that Ten of Sacred Circles. So what we have is the Two of Cups in the right side up position and the Six of Cups. And you know, my stomach, guys, that's funny. And the Six of Cups in the right side up position on the bottom of the deck here. Okay, so I usually call this, these are the sponsor cards, the energy that made it possible for, again, that Ten of Sacred Circles to show up in the reverse position. Okay, so remember how we were saying in the beginning, the reading, right, majority of the cards here for your minor arcana are cups, right? So here's two of those cups cards. So it looks like in the past, in some way here, Aquarius, there could have been a really beautiful relationship or multiple relationships, right? Either romantic, work partnership, friends or family, or even self-love that was divinely guided, that had an equal give and take here with the Two of Cups. In this deck, Hermetic deck, they call it the Lord of Love card, right? And you see some kind of, I think they're two dolphins coming together. There's obviously two cups, one on each side, but really beautiful energy, really interesting the way the cards are depicted here. And then when you put it together with the Six of Cups on the other side, that balanced energy, right? 3 and 3 on each side. There could have been a past relationship or multiple relationships that, again, was an equal give and take. They were bringing out the best in each other. Okay. It could also be referencing some type of childhood nostalgia for a relationship that was going really well in that same regard, okay, with the Six of Cups here. But this deck, they call the Six of Cups the Lord of Pleasure, right? So sometimes you would see two kids sharing food with each other, and they're outside, and there's animals, and they're like little children, right? So it's like super cute. And so it has that feeling of something from the past, right? So it could be that when these two cards are underneath that Ten of Sacred Circles, it's like, where did this go, right? If somebody had this in the past, which is really beautiful and lovely, right? Then why isn't it happening over here in the future? It could have something to do with expectations. It could have something to do with, again, emotions, right? Both of these are cups cards. So in the past, in some way here, Aquarius, somebody could have been emotionally fulfilled or satisfied in some way, and it's connected to their values or your values or everyone's values, right? And so over here, it's almost like, if this would be right side up, if this Ten of Sacred Circles was, or Ten of Pentacles as it's known, it was right side up, it would be signifying an ending and a new beginning, but it's not, right? So it could be here, Aquarius, that somebody is perhaps nervous about some type of ending, new beginning around finances or around values in some way. But whatever it is, I wouldn't worry about it too much. It kind of feels almost like a nervous kind of jittery thing that is still kind of not always fun to deal with, but it's like good and nervous, right? Because what's following that card and the rest of your reading is is telling me not to worry so much about that first card the first week, okay? It could just be a slowdown of energy too. It could just be like, yeah, there's lots of nervous, bubbly butterfly energy or something going on here, Aquarius, right? Maybe it's just like, oh, yes, it's my season if you're sun sign Aquarius. Maybe it's just that, okay? But when we get to your second week here, we've got the Ace of Cups. Now, this is your third Cups card. And we said this could be from around February 10th through the 17th or so. Again, not exact, just kind of a guide, right? But this is so beautiful, right? Again, we have another whale. I just think it's so cool how the other one had whales too, or dolphins, whales, right? And so here we have this beautiful energy that your cup is literally runneth over with all these beautiful things. Something emotionally supportive or happy. If you want support, that's great. Financial support or even being valued support wise is really good. But this is about resiliency. Okay. So a lot of times you would see a lotus flower somewhere in this card as well. Okay. And so the lotus flower grows in the water, not on land. So it's like creating something beautiful in a difficult environment, okay, or situation, let's say. But this is so beautiful because when we talk about aces too, we're talking about our innate talents and gifts, and it's fresh start energy. And again, it's emotional fresh start, right? So if there was some trouble, in the past, and who doesn't have ups and downs, right? That's life. That when you see this Ace of Cups card, it's like now things are going to flow a little bit more easily as far as the emotions go here. Okay, so that can be also really beautiful since we did start off the month with that Neptune energy, and then I think towards the end of the month we had some Pluto energy, so lots of water energy there. And of course, when we're talking about cups cards, I forgot to mention, right? So it's not their official cards, but it can be talking about Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy too. So looks really good though. In the second and third week, I think so far here look like your best times, Aquarius, if I had to say it that way. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into your third card, third week, with the Prince of Staves in the right side up position. And we said this could be from around February 18th through the 21st. That's like not that long. Is that really what I wrote? February. I guess it is. Okay. Well, whatever. It's a guideline, right? I'm like, that's not that many days. Usually I try to make each card about a week's time frame or so. But maybe I just wrote it down wrong, right? So we'll just say the middle of February, okay, wherever that is for you. All right. But with this Prince of Staves, also known as Prince of Wands energy, this is about gaining confidence, and he's going to eventually become a king, right? So he's open to learning new things. When we talk about staves or wands, we're talking about our physical body. We're of course talking about fire sign energy, so can be Aries, Sagittarius, Leo energy behind that fire sign energy that we're talking about. But yeah, this is really beautiful, abundant energy. If there was any health issues in the past or stuff with the physical body, when this card shows up, it's saying that things have turned around for the better. So that's always really nice to see as well. But yeah, he's learning to use his power to be a good king, right? Because he's a prince still here. But also, what's the way to say it? It's like not getting overcome with like power issues, right? So he wants to be a good king, but maybe he doesn't want it to get to his head. He always kind of wants to remain a man of the people, or listening, or open to learning new things. Okay, so really nice energy though here, Aquarius. Let's keep going and see what else comes out here for you. So now we're getting to your fourth card, your fourth week here, which is the World in the reverse position. And we said it could be from around February 16th through the 27th. Yeah, I don't know what I did with these dates here, guys, but again, it's a guideline. So we'll just say the last little week of February, okay? We have the world in that reverse position. So this looks like a slowdown of energy, an energetic blockage, gentle reminder, or challenge, right? But let's kind of see why this is showing up here, because with that world card in the reverse position, it can be that somebody is feeling like they don't have all the possible outcomes around something with the world in the reverse position. It's almost like when they say the world is your oyster, they're like, no, you don't get the oyster, and you only have like one restaurant to go to when it's in the reverse position, if that makes sense. Okay. So, again, let's talk about what's underneath it to kind of see maybe why it's showing up here. So, we're going to go into the past. This is energy from the past. It's a sponsor card that made it possible for the world to show up in that reverse position. So it can be a couple days ago, weeks, months, years, etc., whatever the past means for you. But we have the Two of Swords in the right side up position and the Star card in the right side up position as well. Okay, so past energy, current, present energies towards the end of February here. So it looks like here in the past, Aquarius, somebody or something or energy was really needing to make a decision, but they hadn't done it yet. Okay, in the past, they were still trying to figure out, or you were still trying to figure out, or in general, right? Somebody was trying to figure out how to incorporate their logical mind crown chakra, okay, up here, your crown, with their heart chakra and their emotions. So we can't see it in this deck, but usually she's blindfolded, okay, and she has two swords crossing over her body as she looks out to the water. Okay, so she's not moving, right? So if you would say that the world card is in the reverse position, an energetic blockage, or the energy has just slowed down, she's sitting down. She's not going anywhere. Okay, so that's definitely kind of making sense why it's showing up here. Now, on the other side, Aquarius, since this is your official card, the Star card, it can be in the past in order to feel more like yourself. Perhaps you needed, or someone else needed, general environment needed more time to make bigger decisions, and maybe you feel, or someone else feels in the future, that you don't have the same time that you had before in the past. Or it could simply be that if there was a little bit of even like depression energy in the past, that someone's worried that it's going to come up again, that kind of thing. Of course, anything can be triggering, right? But with the Star card in the right side up position in the past here, I usually call it like the artist card, right? The creativity energy. So magician, you could say magician, musician, or magician, or artist card. Okay, so there, this woman is looking up to the star, the future, right? So she's like, what is going to make me excited to keep living life, right? What is going to help bring all these emotions? She's standing in the water and one foot on land. How can I balance between the 3D physical world and the 5D spiritual world? She's transmuting emotions to try to make sense of them and make it better for the future, right? So it's again kind of like, if she's looking up to the star in the past, again, this is past energy, Aquarius, to the future, you would think that she would also be like, the world would be right side up, right? She would be like, I want to see the whole world view, okay, of the planet Earth, okay? That's our world, right? But it is in the reverse position. So it will be different for everybody. But it could just be wanting you to slow down a little bit here towards the end of February. I mean, you still have, well, let's see. Actually, that's not true. Let me take that back. Well, towards the end of February, you're going to start to go into Pisces season, right? So let me see. I think it's February 21st. Where are we at? February 18th. Okay. So that would technically be, well, since my dates are all messed up, the third or fourth week. So it can be just also like a transition because the Aquarius card is showing up here in the past. Um, that it's something to do with transitioning into even Pisces energy, but I really don't know how I feel about that. For majority of people, I feel like it's more about um, in the past you felt more yourself in some way here, and possibly in the future you're worried about that, right? So Aquarius is known as the rebel, the risk taker, the one that stands out from the crowd. So maybe it's something to do with, well, can I keep choosing to be me, right? Can I keep choosing for me? If you don't love yourself, like, how can you love anyone else? Of course, right? Will the world accept me? Right? Possibly. Hopefully you make it, right? You make them accept you. um, but yeah, it can go, like I said, lots of different ways since it is a general reading. But let's go ahead and get your last tarot card here and then talk about your little oracle cards real quickly as well. So your last tarot card here, Aquarius, is a combination of past and future energy. It comes in here and confirms all four cards at the top, all 4 weeks that we just talked about. And it's one of my favorite cards. It's so beautiful, right? It's the Nine of Pentacles in the right side up position. So this is all about earth sign energy and abundance, okay? So if you started off your reading with the 10 of Sacred Circles in reverse or 10 of Pentacles in reverse, you end with the 9 of Pentacles right side up. Okay, so it's almost like these two little slowdown periods in the beginning of the month and the end of the month are conducive to setting the finances right or setting the values right somehow here. It can also be when this Nine of Pentacles energy shows up for you that there is more skill, determination, and focus. Perhaps it makes Aquarius come out again in the right side up position in the future, current, present energies to be like, I can focus now more on myself, on the things that matter. I can like set that little goal and hit it, right? That little marker. I'm thinking of archery, right? So the bow and arrow. So hitting that mark, right? So again, having more clear determination and focus, having more financial resources, of course, always sounds great. And also having some type of value here. So because it is a combination of past and future energy, I feel like it's just saying, yeah, if you have a little bit of a slowdown period, don't worry too much because then it's going to pick back up. And it's usually, for a reason. And if you also think about, again, the end of 2022, we had a lot of stuff going on. Like 5 planets were in retrograde around November. It was like October, November, and then December. Okay, we had some of those planets going forward motion, and then we have, of course, the end of Mercury retrograde. So it's like the beginning of the year for a lot of people, as far as astrology is going off slowly, right? But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Yes, it's frustrating, of course, but it's not necessarily a bad thing because, like they say, the tortoise wins the race, or whatever it is. The turtle wins the race. Okay, so let's see anyway, though, what your oracle cards here are real quickly, Aquarius. So hold on one second. Okay, I'm like super thirsty. So I wanted to do one of the old oracle cards I used to use from someone had commented on one of the past videos. So this is the Stone People Medicine oracle deck, Native American oracle deck, and it's by Manny Two Feathers. So I think her daughter actually had commented on one of the videos from like a year ago or further back than that. So I was like, oh yeah, I have those cards. Like, I'm gonna start using them. All right. So anyway, Aquarius, the one that you got for this time period, even beyond, is snake medicine. Okay. So let's see what it says here for you. I'm not going to read all of it, but it basically says, what can you expect from snake medicine? Help with releasing old relationships or problems, guidance in changing your life or career, power to change negative thoughts, and strong determination. Oh my God, right? Where we were just saying the Nine of Pentacles, skill, determination, and focus, right? That arrow hitting the mark, the archery, right? Having a goal, setting that visual, clear sight of what you want to hit or what you want to create or do, right? That's a determination. So it's kind of coming out, the word's coming out twice. So that could definitely be something of significance here, Aquarius. Let's see, what else, real quickly, does the snake have to say? It says, so snakes have well-developed muscles and only eat as much as they need. You can ask snake to help tone your body and keep you from overindulging. The snake senses what is in the air with its tongue. You can also learn to feel if good or bad is coming towards you and to act accordingly. Okay, so the thing about the food and the body, right? You could even connect that with the third week of February with the Prince of Staves or Prince of Wands that we're talking about, right? So having good health, knowing when to not like overindulge, that doesn't make sense. And snake medicine can keep you from allowing yourself to become too vulnerable. Okay, so snake is the symbol of life, death, rebirth, and afterlife, and sacred knowledge, right? We think of the Garden of Eden. We think of a snake. What is it? The Oreobellus. I always say it wrong. Where the snake eats its tail, right? So it's talking about energy never dying is being recycled or recreated. Of course, the snake shedding its skin. Okay, so there's lots of symbolism. We won't go into all of it. But yeah, I think that we pretty much hit on that one. All right, Aquarius, you have one more real quickly before we turn over to Pisces. So your other oracle card for this time period and beyond is Pluto, okay? And this is from that new deck I got, the Wild Unknown Alchemy Oracle deck. So let's see what this one has to say real quickly. Oh yeah, we said too that we have that last placement in Pluto happening towards the end of the month, whenever it is. Anyway, you can always rewind the video later or check out the link in the description box below where I have the astrology for the whole year coming up. But yeah, so it says, let's see here. Pluto's realm is one of deep and undeniable power. Known as the planet of the underworld, Pluto has a captivating effect that pulls us into its depths, leading to all things excessive and Dionysian in nature. Images of resurrection, possession, the sacred heart, birth, sex, and death are all symbols of Pluto's volatile energy. When this card shows up, know that everything will be amplified as if through a live wire. It's all about power and maybe even addiction. Through Pluto's force field can be ruthless. Though Pluto's force field can be ruthless, this tiny planet pushes us towards necessary growth. And when we follow its mesmerizing pulse, we are taken into the depths to be changed. There is no point in pretending the underworld is not at work. Admit that you are in it and find the support you need. Not making it worse is a big accomplishment. All right, so this deck in this book always talks about some type of art or film or something to go deeper into this type of energy. It's basically talking about shadow, your shadow self, right? But it says to go deeper, to watch the movie The Labyrinth, which I love that movie. This is like 80s movie, is great. And it also says to ponder or to think about the miracle of small things. So we're talking about underworld power, compulsion. Let's see what else we have here. It says amplification is a powerful alchemy operation. Notice what thoughts and speech you amplify throughout the day and adjust as necessary. So I've said this a couple of times and it always is good to hear it again, even for myself, right? But when we speak, when you think of the word spelling or spelling bee, you're literally creating a spell or energy with what comes out of your mouth. So it's just kind of, you know, reminding us that to go into the shadow self, but also when we put it with the snake energy to regenerate, okay, talking about how energy has never died, it's recreated or transformed or given a new vessel or something like that. So you can kind of take it how it may resonate for you. But yeah, that is your reading, dear Aquarius. And hopefully you got something from it. Always feel free to let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, we're at almost 50 minutes. So we're going to go ahead here and do some shuffling and charge the cards a little bit and switch over to Pisces. All right. So let's just organize everything here for a second. And I had a little bit of music and then I lost it. It's probably on a commercial or something. Usually I just like to have it for the dogs and stuff so they don't, you know, be their full chihuahua self. All right, if that makes sense. So let's see here, all the decks. Oh, wait, actually, let's go this way. All right, so we'll shuffle everything in a second here. And put all the books over here. Okay. I feel like I left one of my other crystals, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. I'm always like taking stuff to and from when I'm working other places. All right. So this is not shuffling yet. We're just kind of throwing them randomly in, and then we'll do a good, real deep couple shuffles in a second. Let's do actually this one. To flip these over. Okay. Did I flip it? No, I didn't. These cards are black and white, so sometimes I'm like, wait, did I flip it the right way? Oh my god, sorry guys, my nose is itchy. All right, so let's do the big ones first. These didn't have any crystals yet. And then I kind of want more incense too. Hold on. I'm like being all, not demanding, but can you guys see the candle here? You can see the flame. Got the candle magic. Yeah. Light on me, please. There we go. All right. Very nice. So another great free way, of course, another way to clear energy from the last reading is to pass it a little bit through some incense smoke. Even though the smoke is not super strong, it's still there. So we'll do that for a second. Make sure I don't actually light them on fire. That would be terrible. There you go. The incense starting to come a little bit more. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, or if it's just me. It was. All right. Looks good enough. Okay. So let's get into the Pisces energy. And actually, yeah, let's do the sound bell first. I almost forgot about the sound bell. Okay. Here we go, Pisces. Where's my sound bell? All right. All right, we're just going to tune into Pisces energy, let go of the Aquarius energy, anything else we're holding on to, so we can be a clear and nice channel for spirit to give the messages clear to you guys as possible. All right, so just if you want to, you can take a couple deep breaths whenever you feel guided. All right, Pisces. Another way to clear the cards, of course, with sound as well. Some nice vibrations. All right, so let's do some shuffling. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for water sign Pisces, the twin fish, for February 2023. Spirits guide my hands. Messages. These cards are huge. Okay, messages for Pisces for 2023 February. Do it again because it was not the best one, but we got it. Okay. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for the twin fish water sign Pisces for February 2023. What do they need to see? Okay. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for water sign Pisces, twin fish for February 2023 for the highest vibrational good. 3 more cards only, please, spirits. Messages for water sign Pisces, the twin fish, Pisces. What? Get it in there. Okay. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for water sign Pisces. Okay, they took 2, but it was like the bottom one, so put that one back. I really felt like it was the one on the bottom. All right. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for water sign Pisces for February. All right, so then we'll do the top and the bottom. Find out how Spirit wants these cards. And then we'll do the next shuffling the decks. Spirits in the Swords in the reverse position represent the first tarot card for this Pisces reading. Okay, and Spirits just confirming that you have Swords in the right side of position to represent the first tarot card for this Pisces reading. And Spirits in the moonlight, respect and reverence before, during, and after. Spirits want the Temperance card in the reverse position to represent the 4th tarot card for this Pisces reading. And Spirit says you want the King of Sacred Circles in the reverse position to represent what's on the bottom of this Ancestral Path Tarot deck for this Pisces reading. Okay. So just move everything up. Stay. Actually, it's gonna fall. Okay. Oh my God, guys, my nose. Let's see. I feel like Spirit wants it over here, but I'm going to confirm real quickly. Spirits, do you want me to talk about the 10 of staves in the right side of position and the King of Sacred Circles in the reverse position when I talk about the 8 of Swords in the right side of position? It's like yes and no. Okay, spirits, can you please give me a clear and definitive yes or no answer? Do you want me to talk about the 10 of staves in the right side of position and the King of Sacred Circles in the reverse position when I talk about the 8 of Swords in the right side of position? Okay. They said yes. Sometimes I have to be like, oh, what are you saying? All right, let's move on to the second deck here. Pisces, February 2023. What do they need to see? Spirits guide my hands. Messages for water sign Pisces, the twin fish, for February 2023 for the highest vibration. Spirits guide my hands. 1 card only, please, spirits. Messages for water sign Pisces, the twin fish for February 2023. All right, so then we do the same thing. Do top and the bottom. Let me just confirm how they want these. Spirits, do you want the Justice card in the reverse position to represent the one and only tarot confirmation card for this Pisces reading? Okay, so they said yes. We'll put it over there. And Spirits, to confirm, do you want the Two of Cups in the reverse position to represent what's on top of this Hermaic tarot deck for this Pisces reading? And Spirits, do you want the Two of Wands in the right side up position to represent what's on the bottom of this Hermaic tarot deck for this Pisces reading? And Spirits, do you want me to talk about the Two of Cups in the reverse position and the Two of Wands in the right side up position when I talk about the Temperance card in the reverse position? Now let's get the Oracle cards real quickly. Started. All right, so I'll do that one last. Let's do this one first. Okay. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for water sign Pisces for February 2023. These ones are hard to shuffle because they're different kind of shape here. We do the best. Yeah. All right. Messages for Pisces for February 2023. Messages for Pisces. One card only, please. Messages for Pisces, the Twin Fish, for February 2023. What do they need to see? All right. Trying to figure out where I'm going to put all these cards, but we'll leave it there for now. Hi. Okay, my earring's stuck. All right, I'm good. All right. Now this Stone People Medicine Oracle deck, it's only 10 cards. It's very small. Still very powerful though. So it's not like a big deck to kind of shuffle, but just wanted to tell you in case you're like, what is that? All right. Spirits, guide my hands. One more additional card for water sign Pisces for February 2023. What do you need to see? All right. So we got all our cards finally. Now let's take a quick picture and get started. Stay like this. Move everything down. I think that's charged enough. Hold on, guys. Give me a second here. Since I got these new cards, which are beautiful and much clearer to see the images, they're huge compared to the other deck I had. So it's kind of hard to fit everything, but we're going to find a way. There we go. Okay. Let's see here. All right, looks good. So where are we going next? Let's just open the books to the part for the Oracle cards at the end, so I don't have to look it up later. Let's see. Where is that one? The only beef I have with this deck, Oracle deck, is that it doesn't have the page numbers, like in the index or the table of contents, all that good stuff. All right, so we'll just put that there. And then this one is that one. So that one. Okay. All right, I think we're finally ready. Oh, this candle's going. All right, let's just move it over there. Okay, guys, let's start. So make a mental note. It's around 104, 105. Okay. All right. Sorry, that seemed to take a little bit longer, but we never want to rush that kind of drawing of the cards, period. So that's why I always do the timestamps for some people who are in a rush later. that don't necessarily have time to watch all that. All right. So Pisces, dear Pisces, let's go ahead and call it your cards here for February. You have the Eight of Swords in the right side up position. You have the Ace of Sacred Circles in the right side up position, also known as Ace of Pentacles. You have the Eight of Cups in the right side up position, and you have the Temperance in the reverse position. All right, so we are going to talk about the first four cards, the first 4 weeks that we're talking about, or 3.5, whatever it is. And then we'll also talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each of the tarot decks. We have our oracle cards at the very end. All right, so let's see here, Pisces. Let me just move stuff over a little bit. So let's see what other zodiac frequencies are showing up here in your reading. All right, so you have 2 major arcanas, okay, so right, not necessarily good or bad, but we have Temperance, Sagittarius energy, and we have Justice, Libra energy. So Pisces, you could be dealing with a Sagittarius or a Libra sun sign, right, or they have a lot of that somewhere in their chart or your chart, or it could even be referencing Sagittarius season, Libra season, or it could be saying something you need to look up in your individual birth chart that may give you even more insight as far as the zodiac frequencies, or it doesn't mean anything to you at all, but I like to call it out in the beginning. All right, and then as far as your minor arcana, let's see what we have here. So we've got 2 pentacles or sacred circles. We've got 2 wands. So 2 pentacles, 2 wands, swords, cups. So it's like, is it a tie? I think it's a tie. Okay, so 2 wands, 2 pentacles, 2 cups, and 1 sword. Okay, so it's a tie. All right, so what does this mean, right? So it can be an underlying theme to your reading, Pisces. So you've got the swords, the wands, and the cups. The cups talk about our emotions, okay? And the swords and the wands, when you put them together, they're both can either be a tool or a weapon. The wands talk about our physical health, our physical body, our health. And the swords talk about our crown chakra, our mental health. So is my mental health in a good place or a bad place? Is my physical health in a good place or a bad place? Are my emotions in a good or a bad place? I know it's kind of general, but that's kind of how it's split up here. So you also have, when you talk about that tie, a balanced energy, right? You've got fire sign energy with the wands. You've got earth energy with the sacred circles or pentacles, and you have the water energy with the cups. And then you have 1 little sword over here. So you kind of have all the elements, if you want to say. As far as the elements go, it's pretty balanced, right? But let's go ahead and get into your reading here, because I know that was like very general. But yes, let's talk about the time frames. Not technical, but let's talk about the time frames as far as a guide of when things may occur. Okay, so I messed up a little bit when I wrote it down. I can't read all my handwriting here, but we were saying the first card, first week, could be from around February 1st through the 9th. Second card, second week, could be from around February 10th through the 17th. The third card, third week, can be from around February 18th through the 21st. See, this makes no sense. And the fourth card would be February 16th through the 27th. Okay, so I didn't write it down right, but basically I was trying to make it 7 days per card, the first 4 cards, but you can just take it as a third week and the fourth week of February, right? Because I know February is a shorter month. I want to pull up my calendar for a second because it's driving me crazy. So yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. There are four weeks basically. So yeah, let's see what we have here for you, Pisces. So like, okay. And I'll talk about the dates when we're again on each one, but it's not super important. It's just a guide, right? So we have the first card, the Eight of Swords in the right side up position here, Pisces. So this can be around that first week of February, maybe from the 1st through the 9th. But this is not a bad swords card to have, right? Because what's going on here is this woman is aware that there is some anxiety, worry, overthinking. She's fanning herself. She's looking at the swords, which is represents those things, right? The mental health is maybe not in the best place here for someone. And she's also looking at the water, the emotions behind the swords here. So she's trying to calm herself down and work it out and say, okay, whose emotions are fueling this anxiety, worry, overthinking, or just being mentally confused in some way, a little bit here, okay? So you could say here, Pisces, that this is a little bit of energetic blockage, gentle reminder, or challenge, okay? But you still have some really good stuff, and it's not, like I said, the worst swords card that you could get, okay? But this is where Spirit wants to look at what's underneath it to find even more insight about maybe why this card showed up. So what we have here is the Ten of Staves in the right side up position and the King of Sacred Circles in the reverse position. Now this is past energy, so it could be a couple of days ago, weeks, months, years, etc., whatever it means for you. And this one is coming out in the future, current, present energies in February. Okay, so it looks like here in the past, Pisces, somebody was going through some type of ending, new beginning with the Ten of Staves here. It could be around health or the physical body. And then there was a little bit of this blockage here with the King of Sacred Circles, or also known as King of Pentacles in the reverse position, where perhaps somebody was not wanting to fully step into their responsibilities or their role in some way around this ending, new beginning, around their health or someone's health, because perhaps it means that then they're going to be more responsible financially for this person that wasn't maybe in the best health, perhaps for some, but not everybody. Or it could just also be this little bit of nervous energy or indecision or just not sure, right? About, do I want to become a king or queen in my own right? Right? So when you come to this reading, it can be about you, it can be about one person you're dealing with, multiple people you're dealing with, or your general environment situation, like I always say. But yeah, we're kind of seeing here, Pisces, that there is this energy in the past of perhaps somebody's emotions, right, were confusing some type of spiritual download, revelation. I finally understand something. That would be if this card was right side up, right? If this energy from the past was right side up, he has the lightning in the back of this card, okay, over here. That's the lightning from the Tower card, okay? So that is that spiritual download, revelation. Now I finally understand something. But remember, it's reversed here, Pisces. So it's almost like somebody or something perhaps was so overwhelmed, right, with emotions, anxiety, worry, overthinking, that those messages couldn't come through, or that confidence to step into that role or leadership role, or just confidence in general, perhaps, just wasn't there. There was something else that needed to happen, or just straight up time, right? Because whatever this is here, Pisces, it doesn't last too long, because then we get to your second card, your second week here. I would say your second week is the best week, Pisces, okay? Because here we have the Ace of Sacred Circles in the right side up position. So you go from Eight of Swords to now this beautiful Ace, okay? Ace of Sacred Circles, Ace of Pentacles. So now we're saying this could be from around February 10th through the 17th or so. All right, so this is about an ending and a new beginning coming through that can have something to do with finances or values, okay? But anytime we see aces, it will enhance our innate talents and gifts, okay? And we have really small, like this buffalo spirit and the side of the drum, okay? So the sacred circles in this deck are pentacles. They're actually like Native American drums, right? So the, excuse me, one second. So the buffalo is this really powerful imagery, right? That is talking about taking up space, right? When you think of a buffalo, you've seen one before, they're huge animals, right? So it's stepping into power, earth sign energy, being really grounded. Since we have the book over here, even though it doesn't go with that one, I want to see if they have the buffalo in here. They probably do. Right here. So buffalo talks about good luck, abundance, strength, and protection, right? So we already talked about abundance and money and values with it being a pentacle or sacred circle, but it also says good luck, strength, and protection. So that's beautiful. What else does it say? Blah, blah, blah. Both male and female buffaloes have horns. Their medicine allows you to protect yourself from anything or anyone that tries to harm you, whether you're male or female. Okay? Count on many things coming your way, but be grateful for all the spirit of the buffalo can bring to you. Buffalo medicine gives you the strength to face your problems head on without backing down. It gives you strength during hard times. Okay? So we just happen to have that there. So anyway, because I can't always think of all the different animals in different cultures, like what they generally mean. Sometimes it's hard for me to get the exact words. So that's beautiful. But yeah, like I said, Pisces, looks like your second week here is going to be the best week. Not that the other ones are like horrible or anything, but that looks like the most favorable time. Okay, if there's something that you're planning or just so you know, right? Now, when we get to your third card, the third week here, Pisces, we have the Eight of Cups in the right side of position. So this talks about either you or someone you know or in your environment, just in general, needs to break away, needs to step away. Oh, sorry, I'm going to turn that down. Needs to step away or break away to figure out what they want in their cups. So if you said the second week, it's like a go, go, go energy, right? With that abundance coming through with the Ace of Pentacles or Ace of Sacred Circles. When you get to the third week, it's like the energy kind of stops perhaps for some, and it's slowing down because there needs to be some type of break or rest. Some people look at the Eight of Cups as a bad card. I don't tend to look at it that way. I think that this person is going off on their own to find out what fulfills them emotionally. What makes me emotionally happy, fulfilled? What are my emotional boundaries, priorities, right? So that's like taking a little bit of a rest to kind of figure things out. And then when we get over here to your fourth week, Pisces, it looks like some of you maybe don't like the slowdown period, right? You got the Temperance in the reverse position. Okay, Temperance is normally all about patience. And since it's a Sagittarius energy and I'm a sun sign Sagittarius, I can tell you I don't like it either, right? It's something I always have to work on. Patience can be hard for all of us, but you know, particularly with with Sagittariuses or fire signs in general. Okay, but it also could be that something's still out of balance. So whatever this break that needs to happen in the third week, when you get to the fourth week, it's a little bit of this somebody or something is like denying that happening, or they want to speed it up faster than it's possible. So that something's still out of balance between the 3D and the 5D, between the physical world and the spiritual world, right? Because normally she would be right 1 foot on land, 1 foot in water, almost like the star Aquarius energy, but a little bit different. So still transmuting energy. She's taking water from one bowl and putting it in the other. Again, water, emotions, right? So Eight of Cups. Somebody needs to find out what fulfills them emotionally and work through the emotions and not necessarily like run away from them or try to speed them up, that kind of thing. Okay. But before we go any further, let's see what's underneath this Temperance card in the reverse position in the other tarot deck we have here. So this is again past energy. And what we got was the Two of Cups in reverse and the Two of Wands right side up. Okay. Those are sponsor cards, past energy, could be a couple days ago, weeks, months, years, that made it possible for the Temperance card to show up in that reverse position. So it looks like, well, Pisces, you have, yeah, you've got two twos here I think Aquarius had like a couple double numbers too. So maybe if you're into numerology, look up what number 2 means because I have no idea. I don't really know numerology. But yeah, with this 2 of Cups in the reverse position and the 2 of Wands right side up here, Pisces, it looks like in the past there could have been some type of relationship that was unbalanced, where there wasn't an equal give and take, whether it was a romantic, a work partnership with friends or family, or even self love, right? There was something off here. But then on the other hand, that could have been a list for the 2 of Wands energy to show up here. So, Earth sign energy, well, not Earth sign, I'm sorry, Aries, fire sign energy over here, wanting to come in and create friction in a positive way to move forward in life, right? So here you see this hand grasping these 2 wands, and there's kind of the Aries. Why can't I think of the thing right now? Not the bull because that's Taurus. Aries is the ram. Okay, so you see the little ram heads. Oops, I'm gonna shake the table. Hopefully you can see the little ram heads there. Okay, so it's coming in and it's like this a little bit of contradicting is that a word, contradicting energy in the past that's like something is unbalanced, right? We know that already with the Temperance in the reverse position. This is confirming that, right? 2 of Cups in reverse, something out of balance in relationship wise. And then with the 2 of Wands, it's like somebody wanting to somebody or some energy needs to do some type of people watching, needs to do the research, needs to slow down, even though they're trying to create some type of fire or friction. It needs to just go at the pace that it's going, if that makes sense. Like it can't be forced now. But yeah, let's see what else we have here for you because we still have one more tarot card, Pisces. Yeah, it will resonate, a little bit differently for everybody here, but it's mainly just something out of balance here and lack of patience, right? So if you or somebody or someone in your environment needs to take a break, needs to figure these things out, give them the time or give yourself the time to do those things. It can't be rushed, right? Now let's see what your tarot confirmation card is, Pisces. So this is going to be a combination of past and future energy. It's going to come in here and confirm all 4 cards that we just talked about, all 4 weeks on the top. All right, over here. And so we have Libra energy with the Justice in the reverse position. Okay. So this is kind of interesting here, Pisces. It feels like there is some type of, again, out of balance, right? She's normally Lady Luck balance scales. She's literally holding the balance scales, yin and yang, right? Light and dark, positive and negative. Excuse me, but it's reversed. What is she called in this deck? She's called Daughter of the Lord of Truth, but she's reversed, right? So some kind of truth is being hidden from someone or multiple people, or there's some type of injustice. Somebody's actions aren't justified, or your actions aren't, vice versa, etc. But yeah, it really feels mainly like a lack of balance here. So let's go ahead and see what your little oracle cards have to say. But again, Pisces, I think that these things are the. Let me back up. This is the energy we're picking up as of right now, right? And so if you see this possibly ahead of time, you always have free will and choice, right? So it's kind of saying if you don't want to be out of balance, how do you bring yourself back into balance, right? If you have too many emotions going on, right? Too much water sign energy, then, or water energy in general, then you need earth sign energy. Then you need fire, right? How do you get back into your own body? Okay, so if you're too much in your head and you're overthinking, which I don't really see here, I saw a little bit in the first week, but not necessarily down here, then again, how do I get back into my physical body? I go for a walk, call a friend, blah, 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 whatever it is to kind of come down and again, feel more centered and bring all those pieces like kind of together, if that makes sense. Okay. So that's what we're all trying to do, of course. That's the goal. But yeah, let's see what your oracle cards have to say here, Pisces. We'll start with the first one, um, which is the Stone People Medicine Oracle deck by Manny Two Feathers. And I just moved everything, but that's okay. So for this time period and beyond, Pisces, you got the bear medicine. So let's see what the little bear has to say. I'm not going to read everything, but I'll just kind of try to summarize here. So let's see. It says what you can expect from bear medicine: spiritual strength, help conquering physical problems, self-reliance, self-advancement, and recognition or realization of your gifts. Okay, so that goes back right there. The realization of your gifts, the second card, second week, that Ace of Sacred Circles or Ace of Pentacles, right? So, what are your financial gifts, but also what are your innate talents and gifts that can bring possibly more financial, right? So, what can you do that you love to do that can bring you extra money? What else does it say? Oh, here we go. It says Bear also helps you to cover your feelings if you're being pressured to reveal personal thoughts. If you're being annoyed by someone, Bear teaches you how to avoid uncomfortable situations. Many native people use bear spirit to help remove illnesses from people. Bear medicine can give a person the strength to overcome illness, be it mental, spiritual, emotional, or physical. Bear is the largest and most powerful animal in North America. And its medicine is great and powerful as well when it comes to help us. That's beautiful. The other thing it says here, real quickly, because it's talking about staying in balance, it says bears are solitary creatures by nature, and bear medicine is most helpful to us when we are alone, when we learn to enjoy our own company and become self reliant. With the many distractions life has to offer, the spirit of the bear can show us how to appreciate and love the solitude we need to get our thoughts, our minds together so we can stay in balance. Yeah, so kind of what, we were already saying with the balance stuff here earlier. It kind of echoes it, but it's really beautiful, Pisces. All right, let's get your last oracle card here. So the last one you got is so pretty. It's the sun, okay? And this is the first oracle card from this deck, okay? It has number 1 on top, right? So this is the Wild Unknown Alchemy, blah, 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 oracle deck. Okay, so this talks about expression, identity, and vitality. That's beautiful. It says each morning the sun graces the night sky, summoning the dawn. Such is the energy of the sun card. With its arrival is the activation and presence of vitality of beginnings. It is said that the sun is linked to the hero archetype and the yang dynamic in Chinese alchemy. Oh my God, yin and yang. Really? That's crazy. Okay, sorry. All right, let's see what else it says. Blah, 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 blah. Associated with the masculine dynamics, the sun card certainly carries a risk if not kept in check. Remember, the sun never actually sets. It's the earth that pivots away. Access whether it's time for you to awaken more fully or time to turn away and rest. Sunburns humble us all. Don't get sunburned. Okay. And this book this oracle deck always talks about some art or music or film. You can go into deeper to this energy. So it says to go deeper, read the poem Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. And it says to ponder or think about the birth of the suns. That's beautiful. Let's see, what else does it say here? Consider how relatable the sun is. It does the same work every day. In what way can you be more consistent in your own rhythms? How relatable are you? Okay. Yeah, that's always a good message. That goes with the Eight of Cups, right? And the Temperance in reverse, too. So, what are my emotional boundaries, priorities? What makes me emotionally happy? Do I need to go rest and figure that out? Turn away, like the sun said, turn away. Or do I need to face forward? Okay. So, yeah, just finding balance pretty much, I feel like is the main takeaway. But that is your reading, dear Pisces, and hopefully you got something from it. Always feel free to let me know in the comments down below. And thank you guys so much, as always, for your energy, for your views, for your shares, your likes, and subscriptions. Of course, they're all great free ways to support the channel here. So if you haven't yet and you want to, you can subscribe. It is free. Just hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified when I put out new videos. If you want to like the video in the first day or couple hours, it helps share it with other people on YouTube just based on the algorithm. So it is another great free way to support the channel if you feel guided, of course. And it also lets me know that you liked something in the video, of course. And what else? Yes, and if you want to share it with friends or family directly by just sending it to them, that's also really appreciated too. So whatever you feel guided to do. But thank you guys so much. Enjoy this time period. And yeah, I'll be coming back tomorrow with Aries and Taurus, and we'll go through the signs in the kind of normal order. So you're always free to join me there. And oh yes, one more quick thing. If you want to see the photo, right, of all these cards we just talked about here, Pisces, all you have to do is click in the description box below and follow the instructions there on how to get to my Facebook page. So I will be posting the photo shortly, if that's something that you're interested in. But yeah, that's it for now, guys. The animals are going crazy, so I will see you guys later. All right, take care. Bye.